You know, one of the things I love, Martha, is I love being behind the scenes, and I love having the type of conversations where you and I can just kind of kick back, and I'm always curious, like, what's the latest book you've read, or what book have you read that has really made an impact for you? So I guess my question is, before we get going, is what's the book you recently read? What's a lesson you learned from the book, and something that I can take away that's going to help me out?
Wow, Shay, I thank you for asking that, because with this latest book that I read, I have been saying for years that I was going to read that book, but it wasn't until my son had to read it for his world history class that I made the decision to actually read the book, because as a mommy bear, I need to make sure that he's actually read the book. And that book was The Alchemist. When I tell you, Shay, that book has impacted everything about me, not only about our personal legend, and not only about being able to reach that personal point in which we're trying to reach, but to make sure that we do it, and we do it unapologetically. When I read that book and I started to think about everything that I stand for, every journey that I've been on that has led me to my purpose, Shay, that book took me over the top. And I understand why Oprah and Will and Jay-Z and all of those great individuals said that that was one of the most amazing books that they have ever read. Because when you really discover your personal legend, that purpose and why you are here, I can tell you, Shay, it changes your life. It changes your direction. And it ultimately changes the history of your last name.
I love that, the history of your last name. So what's one of the points that you got out of the book? I love that book. It's a great book. I agree with you 100%. I'm just curious, if you can, what's one of the lessons you learned from that book that you would like to share with the audience that's listening right now? Those folks that are kind of like behind the scenes, they're sneaking in on us, by the way.
Well, welcome. Well, listen, one of the things that I want to definitely point out to you as it pertains to The Alchemist is that no matter how far it seems, no matter what distractions come your way, no matter what setbacks you may run into, and even when you do not understand the process, don't ever quit. Continue to move forward through that process, because if you continue to push, Shay, you'll reach that area in which you're supposed to reach inside of your purpose.
Man, I love that. I love how you stated that. Now, I'm just curious, if you can, we're going to get started in a minute, but can you give me like the 2 or 3 minute little sneak preview of, where you were, what's one reason you took a step to go save the world like you're doing right now? And then how did you get to where you are right now? Can you give me the backstory? I mean, I love to hear folks' backstory. I mean, we'll get into it later in the interview, but right now, what's the backstory behind Martha, by the way?
That backstory is simply this. Well, first of all, I'm from a small city in Florida called Fort Pierce, Florida. But Shay, what brought me to this point, to who I am today, that extractor of purpose, that comeback coach, is simply this. 13 years ago, our life, we were doing a little Duval, we were living our best life now. And at that very moment, life happened for me, my husband, and our 2 small children. My husband was diagnosed with stage 3A colorectal cancer. At that moment, my daughter was 3, my son was 1. We had just built our dream home, a home that only people wish that they could live in, Shay. And when he got sick, his job said to him, he was a liability, not an asset. And they released him 3 months into his chemotherapy. Now, at that time, as a speech language pathologist, I had no other option. I looked at my husband and I said to him, if you fight for your life, I'll fight for this family. And I was introduced to the industry at that time of multi-level marketing. Didn't know anything about that industry. But what I knew, Shay, was that I had no other option. My back was in the wall. Failure was not an option, and I needed to do that. But along that journey, I realized when I tapped into my strength, when I became very uncomfortable, I realized that that power of yes changed my life forever. It made me really tap into who I was, whose I was, and what I was made of. And then from that point, I realized that as a mother and as a wife, I put every dream, goal, mission that I had inside of me on the back burner. And it was this moment in time that allowed me to wake those dreams up, to realize that I had something very valuable inside of me that could help my family recover what we've lost. And so that's how I got to where I am today. And I was on a mission, not only for women, but for those few good men who really listen to what Martha Cooper-Hudson has to say. I was on a mission to show them that we all have a purpose on the inside of us. But when we truly tap into it, we can turn that purpose into income that will change our lives forever.
Wow, I love that. Turn that purpose into an income. I can't wait to get started. I can't wait to get into it. Give me the signal that it's time to get started. We want to hear more about that. I know there's a little more there to it, but thank you so much for sharing. I want to say hello to Cheryl Diane. Thanks for joining. Nicole Brown Hurston, it's always a pleasure, by the way. Cheryl Graham, it's good to be back. Miss you, miss you, miss you. CF Jackson is in the house. She says good evening all the way from Atlanta. Rosalind's in the house. What's up, Rosalind? Thank you so much for joining. And all of you who are joining in right now, do me a favor. Look right below the video and write these words. You can live your best life. You can live your best life. Husband, stage 4 cancer. She decides to tell him, you fight for your life, I'll fight for the family. We're going to learn more about that. Stop chasing the money and chase your dream. What's up, Brenda Graham? It is always a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining. With that being said, we got to get going. Let's go in to give me the signal. 5, 4, 3. It's showtime. Are you ready, Martha?
I am ready.
I'm ready. Showtime. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Please go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up and it knows it must outrun the fastest lion or be killed and eaten. Also, every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up and knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. You've heard it before. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be what? You better be running. That's right. You better be running. Life is about meaning, and meaning is about service. Isn't that the reason why we're all here? Isn't that what we're all searching for? 2013, the Peak Performance Institute was created. 5,000 clients who we've helped turn their idea into a reality, their reality into a business, their business into a movement, impacting 5.7 million lives around the world. Imagine that! My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Network, the world's largest organization for the well-being of an entrepreneur. And as we always say, our mission at the Happy Entrepreneur Network, our mission is to inspire, empower, and provide resources for the entrepreneur to live a balanced life and execute their vision for the people they were called to serve. And our mantra, I love our belief. Everyone should have a belief statement. Our belief is the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. With that being said, let's get started. Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur and the host of the #1 business development, revenue-focused late-night show in the country, the Happy Entrepreneur Show. And I'm super excited because we have a treat and a treasure this evening with none other than the one and the only, the marvelous Martha Cooper-Hudson. And yes, we'll have a conversation today around stop chasing the money and start chasing your purpose, and the money will chase you. But more important, what is purpose? How do you get on track? How do you get paid more for what you know that you can do? How do you live on purpose and at the same time have a profit? Let me say that again. How do you live on purpose and at the same time have a profit? How true is that? So for everyone that's joining on, for everyone who's listening right now, thank you so much for joining. For all of our new viewers, welcome. And for everybody else, we welcome you back. It's always a pleasure because of you to share this video out and you that pay this message forward out. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. So hello, Martha. How are you?
Hello, my brother. I am amazing at 11:20 in the evening. I am amazing, my
Well,
brother.
it depends on where you are in the world. On the East Coast, maybe it's 11:20. On the West Coast, maybe it's just 8 o'clock. Maybe you're like Sheila Reynolds, who's watching over in Germany right now. It's 8 in the morning. Maybe you're in the UK. They're 8 hours ahead of us. Maybe you're in South Africa. Maybe like Morella, she's 12 hours ahead of us. Depends on where you are. But here's what we do know. You're at the right place, at the right time, hearing the right message with the right person, none other than Martha Cooper-Hudson. So, Martha, where are you broadcasting in from today?
I am out of Charlotte, North Carolina, my brother.
Charlotte, North Carolina, in the house. Shout out. Are you from Charlotte?
I am not. I am from Fort Pierce, Florida, the city that takes no pity. How about that?
I'm loving it. So if you can, for those folks that are meeting you for the very first time, they're hearing your voice and like, who in the LL Cool J is Martha? Now they have your bio. We sent that out. They know a little bit about the background. They can go to your website. But take a moment and tell us, why is it important for you to have women and men live on purpose instead of just chasing the money? Just why is that so near and dear to your heart?
Shay, because I did that for 13 years. As I said before, when my husband got sick, I had no other choice but to chase the money. At that time, that is exactly what we needed. And so 13 years into that industry, not only as a speech language pathologist, but in the industry of multi-level marketing, I chased the dollar. I chased the dollar in every business that I was in so that I could make sure that we never, ever, ever had to go back to that space and place that we were when my husband got sick. But then one day, Shay, I realized, and God does something amazing all the time. He gave me that nudge and he simply said, I didn't give you this business for you to forget about your purpose. See, I've always known that my voice was designed to equip, inspire, motivate, and empower not only women, but those few good men to stand up, suit up, and to boss up in their purpose. But I also knew that I had a gift that I could share with others. And so when I decided, when he decided for me to walk away from that industry, and he simply said, if you chase your purpose, I've shown you all of the riches. You've had all of the money, but let me show you what your purpose can and will do for you. And I woke up every day from that point 5 years ago doing the exact thing that I was designed to do on this planet. And that is to make sure that I continuously not only share and show how to go from purpose to profits, but to let them know that everything inside of them is good enough. And somebody needs exactly what they have to offer. Let's get the money, but do it in a way that you are operating in your purpose and you're not chasing the dollar.
I love that. And purpose means different things to different people. Take a moment and talk about your definition of purpose and what purpose means to you. And for those folks that are listening right now, do me a favor. Look right below the video. And write these words, right? Hashtag purpose and profit. Just look right below the video, and write the words hashtag purpose and profit. Now, why are you writing hashtag purpose and profits? It's because you believe that when you make more money, you have more meaning in the world. You can just have more meaning in the world when you make more money, right? You can do good. You also believe that you can make a dollar and a difference at the same time. That is possible. It's very possible. And so if you know you can make a dollar and a difference at the same time, you know that you can have more meaning when you make more money. Do me a favor. Look right below the video, Brenda. Look right below the video, Cheryl. Look right below the video, CF Jackson. And just write these words right now. Hashtag purpose and profit. But first, I want to get, if I can, Martha Cooper-Hudson's definition of purpose. First, what is purpose? So everyone has their own view of the world. So what is purpose? That's number one. And number two, what's her definition of purpose? Because it means different things to different people. Take it away, Martha.
Purpose to me My definition of purpose and what purpose is the original intent of why something was created. It is your original intent on why you were created. See, we all have a purpose on this planet that was given to us before we were ever placed in our mother's womb. But most people will never tap into their purpose because they're so comfortable tapping into their jobs. They're so comfortable in building others' dreams that they forget that there's a desire inside of them, Shay, that there's something that lights them up. See, I knew that inspiring and motivating always lit me up. I knew that give me a microphone and I can do that all day long. Speaking life into others, I can do that all day long. So when I was able to tap into my original intent on why I was created, life became something totally different. So just like this chair that I'm sitting in, it was created for you to sit in it. Just like the cell phones that we are using to broadcast and the computers, they have an original intent on why they were created. And so your purpose in you is that original intent on why you was created, that very thing that lights you up, and you will do it over and over and over again, even if you don't make a dime. But that's not what we want you to do. We want you to make profits from that purpose.
I love that. Make profits from that purpose. I'm looking right below the video now, and CF Jackson put hashtag purpose and profits. Yes, indeed. Cheryl Graham put hashtag purpose and profits. Yes, indeed. Cheryl Graham, what's up in the house? Cheryl Graham said hashtag purpose and profits. Tanya Prickett, what's going on? Good to connect with you. Brenda Graham said purpose and profits. Katisha Pitts is in the house all the way down in Louisiana right now watching. Thanks so much for joining. Nestle, what's up, Nestle? Good to see you. She says, hey, what's up? Well, what's up today is about purpose and about profits and how it's possible to have both of those at the same time, because sometimes people say you can't have it all, that you can't do it all, that you got to sacrifice either your family, you got to sacrifice yourself, you got to sacrifice your love, and some people compromise their core values, but that's not what Cheryl Graham's here to talk about. She's here to talk about how you can stop chasing the money and focus on the purpose. Now,
that's right.
When you hear the words, Martha, purpose and profits, when you hear folks that are using that hashtag right now, and someone listening right now and they say, wow, I'm on the edge. What do you say to the person that says it's kind of hard to have both of those? I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. I'm just curious. Right. When people say, here we go again, purpose and profits, that sounds so la-di-da-di. Is that even possible? What do you say when people kind of question that? Your title was a little controversial, by the way. It's like, stop chasing the money, chase your purpose, and you'll have profits. It's kind of interesting. But I guess my question to you is, what do you say to the person that says purpose and profits is an oxymoron? How do you do both?
You know, that is where most people get it twisted, if I would say, Shay, is because you can have purpose and create profits at the same time. That purpose, that very thing that wakes you up and you want to do it. My purpose, as I said, was to equip, inspire, motivate, and empower. But I learned how to get paid for opening my mouth. I learned how to get paid every time I stepped on a platform. Because let me tell you, free can never take care of you and your family. But when you decide to operate in your very lane that you were created to do, when you look at some of the most wealthy individuals on the planet, they were able to tap into those gifts and talents that led them to their purpose, that ultimately led them to that financial that financial freedom that they so desperately wanted. They're not running all over. They're not doing this business today, this business tomorrow, trying to teach you how to do that. They are very crystal clear on their lane and what they're focusing on. And when you become crystal clear on what it is that you're focusing on, Shay, trust me, you can become very clear on how you're going to take that purpose, that gift, your talents, and turn it into that profit.
I love what you're talking about. I love what you represent. I love what you're doing. For those folks that are tuned in right now, we're talking to none other than Martha Cooper-Hudson. And her whole mission in life is to help folks walk in their purpose, stand in their power, and have a profit at the same time. When we come back, I'm going to ask her, how do you deal with adversity? How do you deal with challenges? She mentioned a little bit about what she's been through, and she'll recap that. But then what was her mantra? What was the ABC she had to do to kind of keep things together? What we're going to do is we're going to stop, and we're going to go over to Dr. Kenneth Thigpen. And she's going to talk to us about stop hiding out and go after what you want. We'll be back in just a moment with none other than the one and only Martha Cooper-Hudson. Look, you're ready to stop chasing the money and living your dreams and staying on purpose? She's going to talk about, when we get back, dealing with adversity and how she was able to do it so she could stay on purpose when life hit her in the face with something she never expected coming. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hello, it's your girl, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, also known as Dr. K, founder of Rise Women's Network. And Rise Women's Network is pleased to present to you #Next Sister Up. I'm hanging out with you in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, and today is my January 1st. Here's your thought of the week. Stop hiding. Yes, you, stop hiding. I'm reminded of the childhood game hide and go seek, where you wanted to hide in the best location so no one could find you. Now, as adults, there are some of us that are still hiding. We're hiding out from our passion and we're hiding out from our purpose. You see, when you stop hiding, you're able to attract what you want. And I love the word attract because it's such a powerful word. It reminds me to get in position so that you can focus on improving. Next, when you stop hiding, you're able to surround yourself with like-minded people. When you surround yourself with like-minded people, you're able to connect. You're able to have a group of people who are willing to support you so that you can ultimately evolve over time. Next, when you stop hiding, you're able to express yourself. It's time to stand up for your truth. It's time to stand in your purpose, to stand in your power, and to be absolutely phenomenal. And lastly, when you stop hiding, you're able to serve those who you're intended to serve with your gifts and your purpose and your talents. Somebody's waiting for you. Yes, you. So stop hiding, and it's time to show up for your purpose. My name is Dr. K. Make it a great day.
Stop hiding and show up for your purpose. You're watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country. And I'm here with the one and the only, the fabulous Martha Cooper-Hudson. And we're talking about stop chasing your dream. Stop chasing the money, live your dream, and the money will chase you. Want to do a shout out to Nana. Nana Venture says, what's going on? That's my teacher in the house. That's a shout out, boy. They're giving you a shout out out there right now. And one of the things that I went to right before we went to the commercial, and for those folks that are joining and you're ready to walk on purpose, you're ready to live your best life, just look right below the video, and just write these words, live your best life. #purpose and profit. Just put live your best life. #purpose and profits. Look right below the video. And why would you do that? Why do I want you that? That's the bat signal to someone else that you're not chasing the money, but you're living your best life and you're doing it on purpose, and the profits will come. Now, no one said it would be easy, but we did say it's possible. So I'm going to ask Martha if she'll slow down for a minute and she'll go ahead and share what happened when you try to walk in your purpose. And here's the question directly to her, which is, you're on this path, you're feeling good right now, and then all of a sudden, life hits you in the face. And you mentioned it hit you in the face. And so the question is, how do you deal with adversity, #1? And then part 2, what was one of the principles? What was one of the guiding values that allowed you to be on track that we can take from that? Folks are writing live your best life, #, profits and purpose. What's up, Jarvis K. Taylor? Thanks so much for joining. Karen, it is always a pleasure. Yes, you're at the right place. We're live. She's right here, right now talking. Willing to take any of your questions. So over to you, Martha. Dealing with adversity, and then what's one of the core values or principles that you held on to help you through these times?
Wow. Dealing with adversities is very simple. Here's what I tell anyone. Adversities, especially when you have really tapped into what you were created to do on this planet, everyone is not happy for that. And because of that, adversities will come. And I will say, because I tell anyone, I am a true believer. And I understand that when you start to tap into your gifts, your talents, and your purpose, not only do things start to hit you in your family, in your health, in your finances, and in your children. And when you understand that adversities are going to come, adversities are there to delay, hinder, and or abort what it is that you're supposed to be doing. But when you understand who you are and whose you are, and you keep your eye focused on where it is that you are going, you understand that adversities are supposed to come, that you are right there at your breakthrough, and whatever is coming at you is trying to hinder you from ever moving forward. It's trying to abort your mission, and it's trying to make you quit. But when you understand that, hey, that is just a bump in the road, because I've never said that success would be easy. The road to success is never easy. So you're going to come against adversities. And the only way that you're not going to come against adversities, if you're not doing anything, if you're not saying anything, and if you're not making any strides that allow adversities to come towards you.
Not making any strides towards adversity that are coming towards you. And, what was the mantra that you use? Maybe there's an affirmation that you use that you tell yourself on an ongoing basis. And for those folks that are watching right now, for those folks that are listening right now, like April and Phil, who's on here right now, she says purpose and profit. She says she's here. Cheryl Diane said, look, I'm in the house. Don't forget me. She's watching right now as well. What's an affirmation that you use? And you tell yourself when you're going through tough times. Do you mind sharing that? I know that's a question off the top of the head, but some folks want to know, well, what does she tell herself when she gets up in the morning? What does she tell herself when things are tough? What is maybe a mantra or an affirmation that you use? And why are affirmations important?
And affirmations are always important. Listen, I have about 20 on my mirror in my bathroom that I speak to myself every day, because the world is going to come at you and things are going to happen and life is going to happen. And if you're not your biggest cheerleader, if you're not that very first voice, because see, when you wake up and you say good morning to yourself, that is the first voice that you hear. That is the first voice that can reach your heart. And you got to understand that you got to speak your words, because whatever follows I am becomes your reality. So I understand that my affirmations that I say to myself is simple. First of all, never quit, Martha. Never give up. Being average is not an option for me. I am created to be a blessing. My purpose will take me around the world and impact millions. I am a great mother, because sometimes I have to remind myself, because sometimes, as you said, sacrifices. We give up as we are creating this legacy and we're building your business and you're walking in your purpose. Sometimes you sacrifice the time with the very people who mean the most to you, and you give your time to people who don't deserve it. Sometimes you're out there and you're impacting the lives and you're forgetting to take care of yourself. And so when I start and I tell my affirmations across my mirror, it lets me know that it's okay to make a mistake, but you must learn from that mistake, and you take that lesson and you move it forward. That it's okay to fail. That failure is your seasoning. It's like that Lowry seasoning salt. It's your seasoning towards your success. So it's okay to fail. Warren Buffett said something so critical one time. He said, I would never invest in anyone who's never failed before, because if you've never failed, you don't understand success. So you have to speak what you want in your life and create that atmosphere. And I do it every day, Shay.
Wow. That is so powerful. Do me a favor, for those folks that are watching, you're looking right below. I see you, Tammy Lawrence. She said, life is just a bump in the road. I see you. Nana said, the taste of victory is so sweet. How important is that, by the way? Thanks a lot. Tammy Lawrence says, I am created to do great things in the world. They're taking notes as you're going. Do me a favor. We believe at the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. We believe in loving on each other, hugging on each other, supporting each other. Look right below the video. Look right below the video and put your favorite affirmation down. Now, you're not doing this for yourself. You're doing it for someone else. Then it doesn't mean that the person's struggling. It doesn't mean that life smacked them in the face. In fact, the more successes you have, the higher the pressure and the temperature goes up, right? Because there's more pressure there because there's further to fall. and then second is like, wow, everyone seems to be watching when you've had so much success. And in some cases, I think it's better when no one knows. But here's what we do know. That the power of affirmations. We know it's important to do that. Don't worry, I'll come back and talk about other affirmations she's using. We'll give her time to get those together when we come back. But I first want you guys to hear something from her that's very important. And I wanted to share what her purpose in the world is. Why Martha does what she does. She could be doing a lot of other things. She could be just out making money. She could be spending time with her family. But yet she spends time pouring into the lives of others to make a difference. So you might be wondering, why does she do this? What's Martha's big why? That's her cue. What is her big why? When we come back, we're going to find out her big why she does what she does. And then I'm going to talk to her about the Champions Creed. Now, for some of the folks that know what's going on out there, you're like, what? The Champions Creed? Yeah. First, we're going to find out her big why. Why she does what she does. What's that burning desire inside of her to do what she does? Why? And then what's the vision she has for the people she's called to serve? So number one, what makes her tick? What's her big why? And second, what is the burning vision she has for the people that she's called to serve? Because that's important. And some of you are meeting her for the very first time. Now we're going to go over to none other than Dr. Solanda Smith. And Dr. Solanda Smith is going to talk about staying in motion. Don't worry. When you hear from her, Martha, she's going to talk about getting in motion, but you got to stay in motion. You got to stay the course. I love what George Fraser taught me many years ago. He said, Shay, stay the course. And then I did the remix version because that's what we do. We part of the Puff Daddy generation, baby. We do the remix version, right? I put hashtag stay the course. But don't worry about that. Let's go over to Dr. Solanda Smith. She's down in Atlanta, Georgia. She says, stay in motion. We'll be back to get the burning desire and the Champions Creed. Do me a favor. Hit the like button right now. Hit the forward button. I asked earlier if I could pay this message forward. She said you can pay this message forward with your community. We'll be back in just a moment. Take it away, Dr. Solanda.
Hello, happy entrepreneurs. My name is Solanda Smith, and I'm so excited to be in the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe with the Mr. Great Shay Brown. Today is my January 1st. Every day is a day to begin something new, and I back it with 4 principles to help me stay in forward motion with my goals and to dodge the junk that can come up in my own mind from time to time and from others. There's so much noise in the world, staying vigilant on your own mission can seem difficult at times. So I want to share the principles with you. The first principle is to be non-attached. Now, that doesn't mean not to care or not to take action. It means don't hold on so tight to an idea, person, place, or material that you lose yourself, your drive, your ambition, or focus. The goal is not to obsess. Obsession can turn into addiction. The second principle is to think about the alternatives instead of believing there's only one outcome to a consequence. There are many outcomes. If you consider other possibilities, it could free you up from the stagnation and you might have a big breakthrough. The third principle is to live in the future. I'm aware that many people live in the moment. Okay, well, to do that, you have to be present and founded at all times. When you're living in the future, you're actually bringing it to you. It's like you're projecting yourself in every moment from within the reality that you want to create for yourself. And the last principle is to always look for the benefit of any experience, whether it feels good or bad. Feelings are fleeting and aren't always a good measure to make the best decision. When you look for the benefit or the lesson from a situation, stay on the lighter and higher side of your feelings, which it keeps you from getting stuck and from your dreams being deferred. So, happy entrepreneurs, use the NAFBs anytime to keep your channel of attraction clear. Mark your calendar with every day as your January 1st and create a life of peace, ultimate adventure, and infinite abundance. I see you all getting what you want out of life, and I hope you can see it too. Thanks, Shay, for allowing me to share today.
That's right. Stay the course, or as she said, stay in motion. We're here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. My name is Shay Brown, by the way, and we're speaking to none other than Martha Cooper. I hope I got that right. Martha Cooper-Hudson. I always say Hudson, but Martha Cooper-Hudson. Stop chasing the money and start chasing your purpose, and the money will run over you. Martha, some folks are meeting you for the very first time, and they're probably curious, what's your big why? What's your burning desire? Do you mind taking a moment and sharing that with the audience?
No, I don't. And Shay, I will tell you, to know Martha is to know that Martha is all things women. To know Martha is to know that over the years of traveling this planet and speaking all over the country as I impact women's lives, I realize that women, we have given up so much that we forgot to put on our own oxygen mask. And so with that, I realize that not only are we settling, but we are suffering. And we're suffering because we're living out other people's prescription for our lives versus really tapping into the prescription that he has written for our lives. And so with that, we start to feel guilty of going after the very things that we want in life. And because of that, Shay, I said to myself, it's too many people that go to the cemetery with their dreams, their goals, and their purpose on the inside because they were waiting on validation from others. And I share with men and women across this world that validation is for parking. It's not for people. And so my why is to wake up those dreams and those goals and that mission and that purpose on the inside of you so that you can wake up living your best life, doing what you want to do each and every day and getting paid to do so. So it's not robbery for you to really discover why you were created. But for me, it's to make sure that when you hear the sound of my voice, when you've entered into any training or any arena that I'm speaking, that what's inside of you will never go to sleep, and it will not leave you alone until you start to move in that direction and activate it. Because people out there, Shay, are operating in lanes that they have no business. And they wonder why they haven't made it to that level of success that they are looking for. Because it's not your lane. You think it looks good on you because Shay has the late night talk show. You think, oh, I can do that, but you weren't called to do that. And you wonder why success, you may reach one level of success, but you'll never reach that top level in which you're supposed to reach because you're not operating in that lane. And that's my purpose, is to wake that up, to help you find that lane that you're supposed to operate in and go after it unapologetically.
Wow, I love that. And we're going to come back to that. How do you go after the lane that you were called to do? I see Cheryl Diane put validations for parking, not for me. It's for real people. They're taking notes while you're talking, by the way. Tammy Lawrence, thanks for your notes, by the way. She said, come on, Miss Martha, come on. She hears you. You're out there right now. You know, Martha, as we go through it, we come to a very important part, a segment. Now, don't worry. I got y'all's question. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to ask her, how do you find your purpose? How do you find your purpose? So she'll answer that question. But I asked her if it was okay if we do one of my favorite segments. They're all my favorite segments. But this is really my favorite segment, by the way. And it's called the Champions Creed. Now, for some of y'all, you're watching for the very first time. And the Champions Creed is an opportunity for us to go out there and applaud another business owner, to applaud another person. I've run 5 marathons. So I want you to imagine that someone's running a marathon right now. You're on the side of the road and you're giving them a high five. You're telling them they got this thing. You're cheering someone else on. So it's not about you. It's about the happy entrepreneur blessing someone else. Martha, is one of my favorite segments. What's up, Tony Moore? I see you. It's always a pleasure. Gail, I see you as well. Thanks for joining. So here's how it goes. Here's how it goes. I'm going to put up the Champions Creed because it was given to me by my mentor. And he gave it to me almost 15 years ago. And that's held true to me. And I'm going to read it. And then I'm going to ask Martha if you will read it. And then Martha, after you read it, I'm going to ask if you'll share maybe a time that you've had a setback, a time that there was maybe a failure, and how did you bounce back? What was one of the principles that you learned? So let me bring up the Champions Creed. And for those folks that are watching, for those folks that are tuning in, I want you to write these words right below the video. This is how you encourage someone else. I love getting the letters. Yes, I love getting the Facebook inboxes. Yes, I love it when you send me something and say, Shay, thanks for encouraging me. I needed that. I was just at Success Women's Conference just this past week, and at least 5 people told me that when they hear the words, you are a champion from someone else, it means more than when they say it to themselves. I'm just telling you. So you do make a difference. You might not think it like, oh, I'm just writing some words. You are a champion. No. It is a blessing to someone else, and that's why I do it every episode where I'm allowed to do it, and the host allows me to do it, or I should say the guest. So here's the Champions Creed. I'm going to put it up there. I'm going to read the Champions Creed. Now, how can you participate? You look right below the video. And you write these words, you are a champion. You're going to write these words, you are a champion. You're going to look right below the video and write the words, you are a champion. So here's the Champions Creed, the Happy Entrepreneurs Champions Creed. I am not judged by the number of times I fail. Hear me out. But by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying. And keep trying. And keep trying. We got to give you the remix. And keep trying. So do me a favor. Look right below the video. And write these words. You are a champion. We're going to bless someone else. I love paying this message forward to someone else. We're letting someone else know to keep on going. We're letting someone else know it's going to be okay. We're letting someone else know that it's a great day to be alive. We're letting someone else know that their idea, their talent, it matters for someone else. Do me a favor. Is it okay, Martha? Do you mind reading the words for the folks that are out there so they can hear it in your voice? Do you mind doing that?
I do not. Go
Martha
right
says
ahead.
she'll participate. She's good to go. Oh, that's so cool. I always love doing this. So let me go ahead and put it up so you can see it. There it is. Can you see the words, Martha?
I can.
All right, take it away.
I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying and keep trying and keep trying.
I love it when they do the remix version. You must know something about that Puff Daddy, baby. You must know something about that. Got to do the remix version. Cheryl Graham said, you are a champion. Tony Moore, you are a champion. Noel, you are a champion. I see it. Do me a favor now. If you would, Martha, take a moment and talk about a time where there was a setback for you, and then how and what principles you use to keep on going as it relates to being a champion. Any point, any time in your life. Take it away.
Wow. That's good. You know, I'm going to take it all the way back. Let's take it all the way back to grade school. And I will say, and then I'll share one other. Well,
okay.
One of the biggest setbacks to me was when I was a severe stutterer, Shay, believe it or not. And I think that is why I became a speech language pathologist by profession, because I could not talk without stuttering, and it took me forever to do so. And so I went into a shell. I went into that shell because everyone around me laughed at that. And then one day, my amazing 4th grade teacher, Miss Eula Mason, said to me, baby, there's something in you. There's a light in you that you need to allow to shine, that no one knows how intelligent you are because you've gone into a shell. From this day forward, I do not want you to allow your box that you were placed in, the environment that you are in right now, or your inability to articulate and enunciate any of your words hinder you from succeeding. So I need you today to move forward. From that moment forward, I can tell you, Shay, that I've never stopped talking because I understood that my voice somebody needed to hear, and I kept moving. And then one of the other adversities and setbacks that I went through was about 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, Shay, when I walked away from that total industry of multi-level marketing. And I walked away knowing that when you're not actively building your business, that eventually your income is going to dwindle. And I walked away from that income to chase my purpose because it was time to do so. So when I walked away from that $25,000 a month, everyone said I was crazy. Even the people that was closest to me who didn't understand why I was doing it. But what I realized and learned was this, that I could not tell my big dreams to small-minded people, that I could not allow the turtles to hinder a giraffe from seeing as far as I could possibly go. And when I was able to remove the need for the validation, I stopped taking advice from people that I would not change places with. I realized that what was inside of me was going to take me so much further than where I was. And it did. And when I started chasing the purpose, Brother Shay, the prosperity ran me over.
Wow, I love it. Chase the purpose and the prosperity will run you over. I see you, Brenda Graham said you are a champion. Tanya Pickett said you are a champion. I see you out there, Kevin. Thanks for joining. You know, you talked about that. Prosperity will run you over. I mean, I love it. I love it. I love it. For those folks that are watching right now, we're going to come back and we're going to hear directly as we come back. And how do you find your purpose? And then how do you know that you're in your purpose? You might be saying, well, Shay, I think I found my purpose, but if I don't know I'm in my purpose, what's step 1, step 2, and step 3 you can do to find your purpose? That's number 1. So what's step 1? So how do you know you're in your purpose? That'll be one of the questions. And then after that, what's step 1, 2, and 3 of finding your purpose? We're talking to the person right now that's sharing with us how you can't stop chasing the money, walk in your purpose, and let the money chase you. With that being said, we'll be right back. We're going to go over to the one and the only, my man, Sakoni Prince down there in Mobile, Alabama. He says, do or do not. Either way, you got to make a decision. We'll be back in just a moment. Take it away.
Hello, everybody. How you doing today? This is Sakoni Prince of SakoniPrince.com, where we make motivation personal. We're introducing you to yourself. And I'm in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe giving you my thought of the week. And my thought of the week is this: do or do not. There is no try. Do or do not. There is no try. You know, most of us remember the movie Star Wars and the character Yoda and how he shared wisdom, but oftentimes it was in a cryptic way. I remember one time he told Luke Skywalker something to do, and Luke Skywalker's character, he said, well, I'm going to try. Yoda said, do or do not. There is no try. And what he was saying was that either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. But when you say you're going to try, what you're doing is giving yourself permission to fail. And you know what? That's not how you reach your goals. If you're going to do it, do it. Give it all you got. For instance, you don't try to go to the store. You do what? You go to the store. You don't try to go home. You do what? You go home. You don't even try to get something to eat. You get something to eat. You get my point. So when it comes to your goals and your dreams, don't just give yourself permission to fail. Don't say, well, I'll try to do this. Go ahead and do it. Because in doing so, you'll be able to actually say that I accomplished what I set out to do. And this is Sakoni Prince of SakoniPrince.com, where we make motivation personal. We're introducing you to yourself. And I'm in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe giving you my thought of the week. And I'm doing it because you guys rock. And I want you to do and go after your goals and dreams. Hey, look, back over to you, Shay.
Do or do not, but there is no try. How important is that? So now that kind of frames the conversation. And for those folks that are watching right now, you're watching, look right below the video, and put do or do not. There is no try. You either do or you do not. But how do you do and do not, and how do you know if you're in your purpose? Number one. So how do you know if you're in your purpose? And then number two, what's step 1, 2, or 3 to kind of understand your purpose, right? Because how do you know you're there? And if you know you're not there, what's 1, 2, or 3 steps you can do to kind of understand what is your purpose? And you have the one and only the person that you can ask that question to directly, none other than Martha Cooper-Hudson. And she's going to break it down for us. Martha, talk to us.
Wow. The very first question you asked, what was that first part of that? How do you know that you were in your purpose or you're operating in your purpose? The first thing that I would say is this, that your purpose you can't do without. It is the very thing that you will wake up doing over and over and over again, even if you never made a dime for it. It is the very thing that gets your insides moving and your skin and the hairs on your skin standing when you enter into an environment that's speaking directly to the core of your soul. It is that thing that keeps you smiling every day, knowing that you are operating in that space. It is that it factor that was placed in you that you can't do without. And when you are in that space and you are operating in that lane and you are doing the very thing that you love to do and you would wake up doing it every day until the day you leave here, you are in that purpose zone. But now let me say to you that your purpose can change. It can change because of life and things that have transpired and happened in your life that allows you to take that pain and turn that pain into a purpose. So do not get stuck in the fact that, yes, I love to do this and I will do this for the rest of my life. But your purpose may change because of some life altering event that has happened to alter and shift your purpose. And now your purpose may have shifted, but I can tell you that very desire that's inside of you will always remain the same. And your purpose won't let you sleep. Your talents and your gifts won't let you sleep. When you have realized and recognized and understood what they are, they won't let you sit still on them. So when you're in that space, Jay, you know that. Just like when you get on that microphone, I can tell that you're operating in your purpose. When you're on that stage impacting entrepreneurs, you are operating in that space. And Shay, you will do that till the day you leave this earth. Because why? It's in your DNA. It's ingrained in you. It was in you before you were ever placed in your mom's womb. And it has successfully taken care of you.
Wow. Very powerful, very powerful. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for letting me know that. That means so much. And I'm glad to know that I'm in the purpose. So thank you. You know, some folks might be thinking that maybe you got here by yourself, and maybe you did. I don't know. But just a question's got to be, you know, what's 1, 2, or 3 mentors you've had along this journey at any point in your life? And for us as an audience, it's always interesting to hear what's a lesson you take from your mentor that you could pass on to us. And that mentor could have been someone that you studied in books. That mentor could have been someone you watched on videos. That mentor could have been someone that you work with, I know personally. But the question is, what's 1 or 2 mentors you've had along the way? What have they taught you that you would share with us that can be a takeaway? Because we love learning from other people and their mentors. It's so cool. Do you mind taking a moment and sharing a little bit about that?
No, absolutely not. One of my biggest mentors on this planet, he's deceased and he's gone now, is Dr. Miles Monroe. Dr. Miles Monroe simply said that the greatest sadness in life, and I'm putting it in general terms. The greatest sadness in life is not death, but having a purpose and never operating and moving towards that. It's living life without purpose on this planet. And for me, that was what it's all about for me. And so Dr. Miles Monroe was one of my biggest mentors. Another mentor that I have is, and I would be remiss if I didn't say Oprah Winfrey. And I know many people are like, oh, I've said Oprah is this. But what I understand and what I learned more than anything else from Oprah is this. She understands her value. She understands her worth. And she understands that when she opens her mouth, because she's operated in her purpose for so long, when she opens her mouth, your life is going to change. And whomever's platform she is on is going to change. And she understands that her worth is that she is valuable, and that her worth and what she has been given on the inside has been able to take care of her and many, many other people on this planet. So she would be my other mentor. And then thirdly, I would say, I like to call them Lisa and the Coke Jam. Lisa Nichols and Lisa Sesovich has really, really been those women that have empowered me in many ways. And when I look at Lisa Nichols and I look at her audience and I look at the individuals that lives that she's impacted, Shay, I see the Rainbow Coalition of people. I see a sister standing on that stage, impacting lives of my Caucasian sisters, my African American sisters, my Latino sisters, my Asian sisters, men and women all over this world that may not look like me, she's been able to impact. And for that, I am eternally grateful. And then Lisa Sesovich, she taught me how to take this gift and create a living off of it.
Wow, I mean, very, very, very powerful. One of the sayings we have here, and one of our beliefs and one of our mantras that we hold, and I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but we do believe that the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. I see you, D. Bowden, good evening to you, and I see you, Calvin, good evening to you, and everyone who's joining in, by the way. But we're talking about the results. The results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. Oops, you talked a little bit about that earlier. Let me make sure I get it back. You talked a little about that a little earlier. I want to know if you'll slow down and talk about the importance of family and making sure that you're on purpose with your family, if that's okay right now. I know you're married. I think you have one or two sons. Can't remember which one, but you'll tell us about that in just a moment. And I do want to say, congratulations for what you do. Myself as a stutterer, speech pathologist, and what you do is just so important. When I was little, my mom, when they used to tease me, by the way, when I was in 3rd and 4th grade, my mom used to tell me that I wasn't really out of wax. Her thing was, your brain thinks faster than everybody else, so you just talk fast. You don't talk fast. Your brain is thinking faster than you can get it out, so you're just a lot smarter than everyone. I believe that's how I got to high school, by the way. I say I'm just smarter than everybody. They can't keep up with me. Nobody can keep up with me. They can't keep up with me. But anyway, and then I found out later that I'm both. They can't keep up with me, and I'm a stutterer, and I talk fast. It's like, oh my gosh. But anyway, as we talk about that, take a moment to talk about the importance of being on purpose with your family, because oftentimes they think when you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, you've got to sacrifice family. You've got to sacrifice time with the loved ones, and that it's hard to have both of those. Talk about that for a moment if you can, and how that is possible, how you can be on purpose and still spend time with your family.
Absolutely. Family is everything to me. My children, I have an incredible son who's 14 and an amazing daughter who's 16. And I have a doubly amazing husband who's 53. And I can tell you what, family is first for me, because here's what I know for sure. The one thing you cannot get back is time. And I've realized when you are chasing the dollar, you can't control, you sacrifice any and everything to get it. But when you start to chase your purpose, you understand that there are non-negotiables in your life that you are not willing to sacrifice and give up. And my time with my children, I am there at every football game that my son plays. I am there at every important event that transpires in my daughter's life, because there's nothing more important to me than the 3 other people that live in this house with me. But more than anything else, I control my calendar. My calendar do not control me. And when you are operating in purpose versus chasing the money, you can control that. I'm not willing to sacrifice in being away. And I let individuals know that when I have to sacrifice to be in a location and a place and a space that's taking a time from the very people that's most important to me, then it is a higher price tag that's attached to that. Because not only did I have to sacrifice, but those three individuals also sacrificed with me being away. And so I tell all women and men, you can have it all, but you must be able to control what you want. You have to be able to understand that maybe that $100,000 a month income that you want, you can do okay with that $50,000 income and not sacrifice all of your time away from the very people who mean the most to you, who wouldn't care whether or not you had 7 figures in your bank account or $7 in your bank account.
I love it. You can have it all. You're talking to none other than listening to none other than Martha Cooper-Hudson. She's talking about stop chasing the money, add value, and the money will chase you. That's the Shay Brown remix version I always say, but she talked about being on purpose, and don't worry, the profits will follow. I'm paraphrasing, but I want you to stay tuned. I want you listening. There's 2 things coming up that's going to be really cool that you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss. Number one, we come back in a moment. I'll be giving you the happy entrepreneur moment for the very first time. I've never done that. But more importantly, I'm going to ask Martha, what does she see next? Like, what's next for Martha? Like, this is going on right now, and that's pretty cool. But kind of like, what's next? What's next? How does she impact folks' lives? So what's next for her? So it's a 2-part question. One, I want you to know who she works with, the type of folks that are important, that are attracted to her business, so she knows. And then secondly, what's next? What's big? What's on her agenda? What's her big thing coming up? With that being said, you're all watching Martha Cooper-Hudson on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country. We're going to go over to Dr. Kim Warren Martin, who right now is down in Little Rock, Arkansas. She says, success. Hashtag, you can have it all. Someone look right below the video and just put a hashtag, you can have it all. We'll be right back. Take it away, Dr. Kim Warren.
Hello, all of you amazing rockin' entrepreneurs out there in the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. I'm Dr. Kim Warren Martin, founder of Successful and Fulfilled. And guess what? Today is my January 1st. And as always, I'm super excited to bring you my thought of the week here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. This week, we are continuing with part 3 of the thought that you can hashtag have it all. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about how you can have both success and fulfillment at the same time. The key is, though, that you have to be the one to define what they both mean to you. So again, a simple way to begin defining what it all means is to answer the following 3 questions. Who am I? What do I want? And why do I want it? And even though they sound like simple questions, they're not. But if you take this exercise to heart and dig deep, you might be surprised at the outcome. So this week, let's focus on question 2, what do I want? Remember, the goal is to answer the question 7 times uniquely. And each time you ask it, write down a new and different response and try not to repeat your answers over and over again. You see, the closer you get to answering the question 7 times uniquely, the closer you get to the core of what you really want. Now, when you finish, look at what you've written and ask yourself, does this really align with what I want? Or is it that it just appears to work for so many other people that I've decided it must be the thing to do or the thing to want? Now, if you find that you're in alignment, thumbs up to you. You've defied the odds. But if not, you're on the right path. So stick with me as we continue to define what it all means to you. This is Dr. Kim Warren Martin, founder of Successful and Fulfilled, encouraging you to remember that you can hashtag have it all. Until next week, hey everybody, make it a great day. Back over to you, Shay.
Hashtag you can have it all. Look right below the video. Look right below the video right now and just write those words. Hashtag you can have it all. And it has to feel good. It has to make you say, wow, I can have it all. I mean, I can have it all. I mean, I can have my health. Yes, checkpoint. I can have my relationship. Yes, checkpoint. I can spend time with the kids. Yeah, check that off as well. You mean to tell me I can have it in my finances? Yeah, check that off. I can have it on the spiritual journey. Yeah, check that off. Hashtag you can have it all. I see you out there. I love what Danny put. Danny Don Hatcher put, I control my calendar. My calendar doesn't control me. That was one of the big takeaways of you just saying it right there. I love it. I love it. I love it. My man Jim Rohn used to say either you run the day or the day runs you. You decide which one it's going to be. You're going to be. Anyway, we're here with none other than Martha Cooper-Hudson. I'm asking her the question now. Kind of, one, what type of clients does she work with? Like, what type of problems do they have? She's in business not to make money, although that's a part of it, but really to help people solve a problem. One of the things we believe here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show is that people will pay you today if you help them solve a problem today. So we're in the problem-solving business. So I'm going to ask, hey, what problems do you solve? And then number two, kind of what's next for her? Like what's going on in her life? Let's just get behind the scenes and crawl inside her brain over there and say, what's the big next for you? What's the big step for you as we all watch and we encourage and we inspire? So, Martha, with that being said, what type of clients do you work with? What problems are you solving in your life? And number two, what's the big next for Martha?
Wow, that's good. I work with highly driven women on a mission as I teach them how to stand up, suit up, and boss up in their purpose as they redefine, rediscover, and reintroduce the new you unapologetically. So I work with women who's ready to explore deeper on what it is that they really are supposed to be doing on this planet. I teach them how to tap into those very gifts and those very things that have transpired in their lives that have that's turned their pain into that purpose. And I show them how to get paid from it. And I show them how to do it unapologetically, Shay. And what's next for Martha? Mm-hmm. Wow. I am super excited. I actually just posted today that what's next for me is my Real Talk, Real Women podcast, where we discuss real topics with real women and we have real conversations. And that podcast is created to not only deal with the woman, but her life and her business. Because so often we only deal with the entrepreneurial side of that woman. But what happens to the woman's life? What happens to the woman? And why haven't that woman reached that highest level of success? Because of all the other stuff that she's still holding on to that haven't made her successful. So I am excited about my Real Talk, Real Women podcast. And I'm excited about the 2020 tour that we're getting ready to do, where we're taking Real Talk, Real Women all over because we're having real conversations on why it's important for you to put your oxygen mask on before you try to save the world.
I love it. Now, are these women in business? Are they professional? Are they a combination? Can you kind of help? Can we take a little deeper dive? So if someone's watching right now and they're listening and say, well, do I have to be an entrepreneur? Do I have to be a professional? Do I have to be a mommy? Do I have to be married? I mean, can you kind of frame the conversation a little bit just for the folks that are watching right now, because it may be them. Maybe they're raising their hand and saying, it's me, or maybe it's someone that they know. So it's kind of like a two-part question, a little deeper dive so they can have a little more clarity. And then number two, how can they connect with you, by the way?
Wow. The majority of my clients that I work with are women who are in the workforce, who knows that they were created to do more. So they are professional women. They could also be, I have a lot of stay-at-home moms who've given up everything that they thought that they wanted to do because they married a man with power. They became that wife and or that mother, and they put everything they wanted to do on the shelf. And so I work with those women as well. as well as entrepreneurs who's ready to take what they're doing to a deeper level. So I work with the three of those, that mom who's given up her dreams and visions because her name changed or her title changed, that professional woman who's in a job suffering because they've settled and they know that they should be doing more, and they are ready to explore that because it's time for them. They've recognized it's time for them to go in order for them to grow. And then that entrepreneur who has that entrepreneur spirit and mind like myself, but they may be operating in a lane that's not necessarily theirs, and they haven't been able to reach that level of success. Let's get focused. Let's gain clarity on what it is you're supposed to be doing, and let's make those simple tweaks to make it happen for you.
Hello, all of you amazing rockin' entrepreneurs.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry about that.
How can they reach me? You can reach me, first of all, go over to MarthaCooper-Hudson.com. Go over there, and I have for you, you can get your Rediscover Your Life workbook, and join my mailing list so that you can keep up with everything that Martha Cooper-Hudson is doing. The other way that you can reach me is on all of my social media platforms under Martha Cooper-Hudson. That's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can find me on those platforms as well.
I love it. We come back. You're all listening to none other than Martha Cooper-Hudson. We come back. There's two things going to take place that you don't want to miss. Number one, I'm going to have a happy entrepreneur moment. So that moment, my thought of the day. And then I'm going to come back and let her dive a little bit into this Rediscover Her. I was saving that because y'all probably curious, like, what in the LL Cool J is Rediscover Her, right? I mean, the name speaks, but you're like, what's beyond the name? So what's his mission? What's his purpose? And then how is it making a difference in the world? And why should you care? So when we get back, I'll come back with the thought of the day from the Happy Entrepreneur Thought of the Day. And then we're going to answer that question about Rediscover Her. Tell us all about it. But first, we're going down over to Houston, Texas, to none other than my good friend Dorsey Hill, talking about boundaries with your time. Boundaries with your time. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Hello, hi, howdy, I'm back. It's Dorsey here, the founder of the Healthy, Happy, Fun Life Network, and I'm so excited to be back with you in the fantabulous Happy Entrepreneur Tribe to share my thought of this week, which is a continuation on this month's theme of boundaries. We've talked about boundaries, learning how to say no, and then boundaries for your mind, guarding your mind. And this week I want to talk about boundaries with your time. Yeah, because if you're anything like me, and please tell me I'm not the only one, I know you guys are doing this too. You get sucked into the Facebook, Instagram, social media vortex, and then you're gone for hours looking at puppy videos or kitty videos or kids doing crazy cute things, or, those grannies rocking out. I mean, whatever. Next thing you know, it's like hours gone. Well, here's a simple little tip on how to guard your time and create time boundaries. It's called Pomodoro time. All you do is get a little timer, get a fun little timer, set a cute little kitchen timer or something in your office, set it for 30 minutes. That's it, 30 minutes, and then crank out 30 solid minutes of work. Then you can get up, take a break, come back, and you can do another 30 minutes of solid work. It's amazing when you sit down with the intention in that deadgun little kitchen timer for 30 minutes, how much you get done and how well you have guarded your time boundaries to get those things done that we have to do, so that then we can put in the fun time to do the things we want to do. Well, thank you so much again for being here. It was my pleasure. And again, my wish for each of you is that you...
Once again, it is always an honor. It is always a privilege. My name again is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and I'll be sharing with you for the very first time ever my thought of the day. Now, my thought of the day is very simple. It's the important lessons that I've learned losing my iPhone 10, right? Important lessons I've learned losing my iPhone 10. So there I was in the CVS, and it was just yesterday. And I walked into the CVS to pick up a few items, and on the way over, I was listening to my favorite music in the car. So I know I had my iPhone 10 Plus. I go into the store, I'm walking up and down the aisles, I'm getting a little water here, getting some snacks over there. I was actually going to get some vitamin C powder over here. And all of a sudden, I put some things down at the counter because I didn't want to carry stuff around. And then I went back down a few aisles. And it was just that I noticed at that moment that my pocket felt a little lighter. Now, if you've ever found yourself in a situation where you went looking for your phone, and I can't count the thousands of times I've said, where's my phone? Where's my phone? And it pops right back up. This time, it didn't. And panic set in. And I want you to imagine for a moment, you're home, less than 2 miles from your house, and your iPhone disappears. Now, I say lost. I'm sure someone picked it up because I stayed in that store another 45 minutes, crawling down every aisle, looking under every area, going behind the counter, checking to make sure, and my phone never appeared. I never left out the CVS. Now, I was panicked. I started sweating. In fact, I didn't know what to do. So you might say, Shay, what's the point? How does this relate to me? Well, let me first tell you the point, and then I'll tell you how it relates to you. The point that I learned in about 5 hours or maybe 4 hours without a phone is this. You might want to jot this down in your notes. Put this point down in your notes. The world goes on without me. let me say, I know that sounds overly simplistic. You're going to be like, what, Shay? Yes, the world goes on without me. And what I learned in that time is that there's quiet time. Like, I didn't have to check to see what was going on social media. It was okay that a text wasn't coming through. It was okay that the phone wasn't ringing, that I could slow down to speed up. Yes, there was other ways to communicate. Yes, I went home. Yes, I got my iPad Pro, quickly dialed in and said, find my phone. And, of course, the phone was already shut off. And so I had to hit the button to erase the phone. And then I could make phone calls through my iPad. And then I've got this fancy smancy watch, right? And it's an iPhone watch. And guess what? I can make phone calls through the iPhone watch. But it wasn't the same as having my phone. So what's my message to you? My message to you is sometimes we got to slow down to speed up. And I started thinking about all the things that I thought were important that day, all the calls that I thought I had to make. And guess what? The world went on without me. I rode in silence over to the Apple store, waited in line at the Apple store, only to be told I had to go to the AT&T store because I have AT&T insurance. Went to the AT&T store, put a claim in. They gave me a chip, came home, found my iPhone 7 Plus or whatever that is somewhere. 5-6 hours later, I was connected. The reason I share that thought of the day is this. This is what I want you to write down in your notes. Slow down to speed up. Slow down to speed up. It was in that quiet time that I started thinking about what was really important to me. And you know what? What I thought was important wasn't important, and the world went on without me. And here's what I know for you. Sometimes we get so attached to what's going on in social media. Sometimes we get so attached to checking that next email. Sometimes we get so attached to that text message. And that phone becomes like our life inside the phone. That might just be me. I might not be speaking to you, and that's okay. But I know there's someone out there that if you didn't have your phone right now, panic would come to you. I know you got to connect your kids. I get that. But I want you to know that the world's going to go on. Life is going to be okay. And there's always a plan. Yes, thank God I have insurance. That's what we have insurance for. Yes, the phone's going to arrive within 2 business days, so it'll be here tomorrow. 1 business day with today, the phone be tomorrow, life goes on. Here's what I want you to know. Slow down to speed up. How can you do that in your relationships? How can you slow down and appreciate the one you're with right now and be present with them? Yesterday, I was present with my family watching a football game. I wasn't like looking at my phone. I said, you know what? I'll go to the store later. Let's just relax. How can you do that with the person you care the most with? How can you do that with yourself? Slow down, speed up. So what's my message to you right now? Slow down to what? Speed up. Slow down to what? Speed up. When you do that, you'll find that what really matters only matters to you because everything else really doesn't matter. The world goes on without you. With that being said, again, my name is Shay Brown, and that is my thought of the day: slow down to speed up. With that being said, before we come back to our guest, we're going to go over to the one and the only, none other than Dr. Tashika Green, who talks about master the one thing, and then we'll be right back with Martha Cooper-Hudson. We'll see you in just a moment.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another great week on the Happy Entrepreneur Network Show. I am Dr. Tashika L. Green, the president, CEO, and founder of To Everything There Is a Season, and I'm so glad that you decided to tune in this week to another great show of the Happy Entrepreneur Network Show. Today is my January 1st. Have you ever heard of the saying that we are a jack of all trades and a master at none? Well, I would like to change that perception of that quote. I would like you to start saying that you are a master at one. With that being said, there are so many things that we have been gifted with and able to do. But what is that one thing that you are working and practicing every day to get better, to perfect your craft and become a master? When people call your name, who do they know you as? Do they know you as that great speaker? Do they know you as that transformational coach? Do they know you as the entrepreneur that brings change? Do they know you as that businessman or woman that can get the job done? Or do they know you as all these other things that you do, but really they cannot focus on that one thing that you are mastering? This week, as you continue to perfect your craft, I really want you to focus on what is that one area that you specialize in, that when people call your name, they will know exactly who you are and where to find you, because you are the answer that they need, you are the solution to their problem, and you are what they have been looking for. So this week, I continue to say, be a master at one thing. Focus on what you are trying to perfect and get better at that each and every day, so that when they do say your name, they know exactly the service that you provide and how you can help them. Again, my name is Dr. Tashika L. Green, President, CEO, and founder of To Everything There's a Season. And if you are still here, go and live a purposeful life. Have a great week.
Go live a purposeful life. Have a great week. We're here with the one and only. Talk about master the one thing. I love that. I love that. I love that. Don't be everything, but master the one thing. Well, that's exactly what Martha Cooper-Hudson is talking about right now. How to be in your purpose, the one thing you were called to do, the one thing you were mastered to do. So before we took the break, she kind of brought up this whole rediscover her. And I'm going to ask her if she'll take a few minutes because we're coming down the home stretch and we're almost there. But I want her to slow down for a moment, then we'll speed up and finish up. But I want her to take some time and talk about this rediscover her. What's his mission? What's his purpose? And why should you care? Is this something you should be a part of? I love the name. I love the concept. Now let's hear the backstory. Let's hear the narrative. Let's hear why it's important. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Martha Cooper-Hudson and talk about Rediscover Her. I love the name, though. It sounds so cool.
Wow. And actually, Rediscover Her is the name of my business, because that is what I had to do, Shay, when that life tragedy first struck my family. I had to really rediscover who I was. And so with that, I was able to create a community, a platform, and a company that is a non-judgmental, non-competitive platform and community that not only strengthens her, it supports her, and it lifts her up as she redefines, rediscovers, and reintroduces the new you unapologetically. We really teach women through our Me, Myself, and I Women's Weekend Getaway how to put that oxygen mask on first, how to know that being self-full is not being selfish, and that we cannot give away everything in our cup, because what's in our cup belongs to us. That overflow is what we give to everyone else. And when we learn to take care of ourselves, then it will wake up those amazing relationships in your lives. I tell my family, my husband, my kids, when it's time for me to have a me, myself, and I weekend just for myself, and my son will say, "Why, mommy?" And I'll simply say, "Because I love you. And because I love you, I am going to take care of me so that I can be the best version of who I was created to be, so that I can be the best mommy to you and your sister and the best wife to my husband." And so that is what Rediscover Her is all about. And you can go out there and join my Rediscover Her community on Facebook. It's Rediscover Her on Facebook. And when you do that, you can join that community. And I can promise you, it's a community like no other.
I love it. Rediscover Her. That is perfect. I love what you're doing, by the way. This is amazing. Go find Rediscover Her. This is your moment. This is your time. When we come back, I'm going to ask Martha if she'll have her final thoughts to inspire, to encourage, to uplift all of the entrepreneur tribe that is out there right now that are ready to take their life and business to an entirely different level. Because you know what? For you, the best is still yet to come. The best is still yet to come. The best is still yet to come. With that being said, we'll go over to Dr. Shayna Lewis, who's talking about who is your front. Who's your front? And then we'll bring this thing down to home stretch. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hey, family, this is your girl, Dr. Shayna, and founder of Your Extraordinary Life Network. And today is my January 1st. And I'm here with the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe to offer you a thought for the week. My thought for the week actually comes in more of a question. Who's in your front row? Who's in your front row? Now, as you can see, I'm pretty fancy tonight. I actually had the opportunity to attend an event that was hosted by the Texas Federation of Women. At this event, they were honoring women all across the city for their accomplishments in their careers, their work in the community, how they've given back. And while there was hundreds of women in this room, we all came from various walks of life, various disciplines and area of expertise. There was a thread that tied us all together. We were all like-minded, encouragers of women, empowerers of one another, business women, leaders in our own right. All of these things tied us together. And it made me think just how important your front row is. The people in your world who influence you really matters. I want you to think about who's in that front row. Are they like-minded with you? If they're like-minded with you, then what happens is you end up encouraging each other to all end up the same place. If they're different-minded than you, then you may run the risk of being off track at some point and not knowing how to find your way back. So the people who are closest to you, those who have influence on your life, absolutely do matter. Take a survey today. Ask yourself, are we like-minded or different-minded? If you're like-minded, nurture those relationships. If you're different-minded, you might want to think about perhaps it's time to make a shift. So just think about it. That's your homework. Who's in your front row? All right, family, until next time, here's your extraordinary life.
Who's on your front row? Well, Rediscover Her is on your front row. They're right there to help you discover your purpose, discover your profits, and have a greater difference in the world. I want to take a moment to thank none other than Martha Cooper-Hudson for showing up, showing out, and giving you her best this evening, this morning, this afternoon, whatever time it is for you, wherever you are in the world. For those folks that are on the podcast, for those folks that are on the conference calls, for those folks this is being syndicated out, or some of you are watching the replay, we thank you, thank you, thank you. With that being said, I'm going to ask Martha if she'll bring it down the home stretch, give us her final thoughts. For those of us who have to go out, these lights will go off at some point, these mics will be turned off, and you've got to go walk in your purpose. And it's not always going to be easy. But what we do know is that it's possible. We do know that with the right resources, that you can execute the vision for the people you were called to serve. You can do this thing. If someone else has done it, so can you. So I'm going to ask Martha to give us her final thoughts. Again, Martha, thank you so much. We realize you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So thanks for taking time away from your husband, time away from your children, time away from your business, and time away from your life to be here and share with the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. Over to you to have the final thoughts as we close out this episode. Thanks so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on your show and opening me up to your platform. Here's what I want you to always remember. Pray always. Create a plan, because he who fails to plan plans to fail, and then take action. Understand that where you are going, everyone cannot go with you. Just like an elevator, people are going to get on and they are going to get off, and you need to be okay with that. And make sure that you are not settling, because when you settle, you will suffer. And always surround yourself with people who are going to celebrate you, not tolerate you. This road to success and that road to purpose is never easy, but understand that it is worth it, and that failure is only the seasoning for your success. You have the power to create the life that you want, but always remember never to get hung by your tongue, because what comes after I am becomes your reality. So let's go out there and discover your purpose so you can turn your purpose into profits and do what you want to do each and every day and make money while doing so.
Wow, I love it. I love it. Love it. Once again, thank you for joining. Thank all of you who shared this message forward. Thank all of you who told your neighbors. Thank you, Martha Cooper-Hudson. You are awesome. You are amazing. And you are making a huge difference in the world, helping folks discover their purpose and have profits at the same time. Making those two come together, because you can. Hashtag have it all. With that being said, I want every one of you to know you're watching. You are amazing. You're awesome. You're incredible. And I know for you that the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is still yet to come. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and you've been watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. Martha, thanks a lot for everyone out there. Thank you. God bless. We wish you success, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. Can't wait.
Go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
And I'm here right now in this moment with none other than the one and only Dr. Willie Jolly. What's up, my friend?
It's a privilege and a pleasure and a treat and a treasure to be in your presence.
All right, Delator, we're going to get started. You ready, Delator?
I'm ready, friend.
You ready, Dr. Connett?
Ready.
No, none other than Andy Henriquez. And we have someone like a Dr. Sonia, who's a bad sister. All right, now, go ahead with your bad self. None other than the Kim Warren Martin. That's the promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Thank you.